Good evening, Mask enjoyers. Heading right, 'cause it's time for Profit Review. Last week we discussed the February Full Swipe Rush Store for 2025, and that means we're here to discuss the second week of February's Rush Store, the Valentines 2025 Rush Store. So sit back and relax, I'm going to start yapping. But before I do, understand some of you might be completely new to this, not fully understanding what the focus of the video is. What are we here for? Well, don't worry, I'll quickly explain. Basically, with every single Rush Store that we see, I will return to it 4 weeks later just to see how everything turned out. Did everything match up to expectations? And if not, I'll sit here and explain why. And also, with every single Rush Store that we see, I'm always making considerations for what potentially could be the best investment for the week. Was I correct? And if not, you can hold me accountable. And of course, we'll keep track of the progress of sales, and we'll discuss what prices we offered with the abnormal barders, and did we actually buy any of the skins? Alright then, so hopping back over to here, let's talk about the, well, initial reaction. So in the lead up to Valentine's, I was fully well aware that there was a lot of skins submitted. So just to remind all of you, we had 2 weeks of Lunar New Year, 2 separate weeks, aka this also had a lot of skins being submitted to it, and this of course got 2 separate rush stores. So when we first saw this, we were like, okay, you know what, 10 skins, it's well, I'll be honest with you, there was a lot of very interesting, very creative designs that are submitted to the workshop, and most of the people weren't exactly super thrilled with this. Alright, just being brutally honest, I fully remembered how people were reacting. But we're like, oh yeah, surely we're going to have a second week of Valentine's, right? You know, the year before we were getting an extra week for Halloween and Christmas, now we just got one for Lunar New Year. Surely Valentine's is going to get 2 weeks, right? Right then, anyway, so looking at the skins, overall, it was still like Lunar New Year. Not really as bad when you see Halloween skins and Christmas skins and knowing what the inevitable is, aka once we've gone through the season when we're past it, people don't care about the skins anymore. But Valentine's is a little bit different. Everything's all bright and pink and rarely do you see skins such as this, so sometimes they do actually work out quite nicely. Anyway, looking at all of them, it wasn't exactly looking to be super crazy, but there were some notable things that did stand out. So when I looked at all the skins, what was I considering for potentially the best investments? Well, like I said, I made a predictions video, everything's all chaptered, so I know exactly what I thought about back then. So on the day, when I'm looking at the skins, looking at the initial sales, I made considerations and I thought to myself, you know what, the best thing right now, as of, February 13, 2025, I thought the fridge was in the best spot, purely based on the fact that we were well aware, in the pipeline, we're going to get some sort of cooking update. And there was quite a lot of mentions in regards to what was going to happen to food, aka all the food was expected they were going to start to rot if you don't keep it refrigerated. Fridges were going to become a necessity. And in the lead up to that inevitable update, all the fridges were getting bought out. And lo and behold, we got another fridge, just as this hype is currently, taking place. So that was looking to be very interesting. Now, looking at all the other skins, I couldn't help but look at the Heart Collector backpack as well. Bright, pink. I think a lot of people are going to greatly appreciate just wearing that as they go for a stroll with their, with their group, all looking nice and pretty. Basically, it's a very standout, goofy design, and I thought maybe a lot of people would actually appreciate that. But I was still very skeptical with the amount of backpacks we had accepted up to this point. It wasn't exactly guaranteed to be okay, but it still was pretty standout and funny. So, okay, that looked pretty appealing. Looking at the remaining skins, Blaze Furnace was looking pretty cool. Remembering quite far back, I basically thought we didn't have a Valentine's Furnace in the past. Apparently we did. I forgot about one. But this was bright, pink, fun. I thought, you know what, maybe this could work out quite nicely. But inevitably, with all the skins, I just couldn't help but assume as we were going to approach March and April, these very likely all would go below their rush store price at a certain point. So I was a little bit skeptical still. Then I talked about the rose petals, not petals, petals, another spelling mistake. Yes. So, yes, this was an interesting, transparent design. It was loads of petals, but you could put that on a wall and you could easily see through. So if you put it on a windowsill, in a gap, you could see through it perfectly fine. It could absorb maybe 2 or 3 shots, and then, that's helpful. That's interesting. So, okay, not only is it nice and decorative, but it could potentially be used and utilised in such a, useful way. So that was looking pretty cool. But again, how many rugs have we had that did basically the exact same thing? Well, just a simple remembering back of, about 2 years ago, back in Halloween 2023, I remembered the spider web rug. And that wasn't doing very good back in February. Surely, potentially, the Petals rug could, follow suit, or maybe it doesn't sell as much. Maybe it does work out quite nicely. It was abnormal, didn't have to rush into buying it. So, alright, fair enough. Then I looked at, like, the No Love cap. This was, like, the first cap skin to be accepted after, 2 or 3 years? Overall, we just didn't get that many baseball cap skins in general. And because of that, all the skins actually rose up in price quite nicely. Not to ridiculous prices, but they did end up becoming profitable. So surely we're not going to see another cap skin anytime soon, right? So that was looking pretty appealing. So yeah, okay, that was also looking pretty nice. Then we also happen to have a brand new grenade skin. Yep. So ever since we saw the first grenade skin being accepted after a very long time back in Christmas, suddenly we start seeing a whole lot more of them. So we just had a Twitch drop, then we got this one. Wait, hang on a minute. Do people even want that, considering they just got one for absolutely free as a Twitch drop? Yeah, bit of, just a few problems there. Then we had a wooden door. Then we had the $3 AK-47 after all the Twitch drops. And then we had some seasonal hoodie and pants, much like what we just had with the Lunar New Year. They're very likely going to behave like Halloween and Christmas holiday themed clothing and armor skins. We're not going to see a continuation for at least another year. So I just couldn't help but assume it's going to drop down in price, and I just could not help but assume we're not going to actually see it rise up in price until we actually potentially see a sequel, if it ever were to happen. And of course, that was going to take at least a year. So overall, it wasn't the most super thrilling, super enthusiastic Rustore, but still things could maybe work out quite nicely. So let's now talk about the first 24 hours of sales. So over to here. And as I look and see, well, Rose Petals Rug was the top seller with about 7,600 subscribers. The Valentines Blaze Furnace, very similar. And then we had the Grenade Skin following just about. And then we also happened to see the backpack, just under 7,000 subscribers. However, there was a bit of an issue. I didn't exactly know when the roster rotated for Valentine's. So in terms of was I correct with the timing, not 100% sure. So you might sit and say, oh, these sales look quite nice. Was it actually 24 hours or was it 30? I don't know. Either way, it didn't look like these skins were selling absolutely ridiculously. So that's perfectly fine. How about we go ahead and talk about how we approach the skins with the abnormal barders, and did we actually buy any? So here's the abnormal barders for February 2025, and, well, look at the sales. Top 3 sellers were the Blaze Furnace with just over 16,000 subscribers, the Rose Petals Rug with just about 15,000 subscribers, and the Love Bomb Grenade just under 15,000 subscribers. Not an astronomically, stupidly high amount, but still fairly average. If times get real bad, they could still suffer. So, okay, still a little bit hesitant with the skins. But of course, we need to sit here, talk about the abnormals and figure out prices for all of them. So I'm looking at that rug. And that has not sold as much as the spiderweb rug. Okay then. But I also took into consideration, that's a very nice decorative rug. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people on certain servers, more specifically, not exactly the PvP servers, but people who just like to make nice displays and whatnot. I honestly thought that Rose Petals rug would be appreciated as time goes on, but I could just still basically see it dropping off initially. So over the course of the next month or two, when we go through the proposed Easter dip, well, I thought it would drop off, but I still thought it was going to retain a decent bit of its value. I went with $1 to $1.50. And again, maybe there are still people who'd like to put that in the windows and, utilise the transparency. But I mainly stuck with the idea that people very likely would appreciate the decoration part of it. So, all right, cool, fair enough. When it came to the grenade, as I said, we already had like a Twitch drop. And loads of people got that for free. Did people even feel the need to even want to skin their grenades? So, I didn't really have a lot of faith. And the best thing I could compare to was the Christmas grenade, which had dropped off real hard by that point when I'm looking at it right here. So I thought, you know what? I don't have a lot of faith, don't have a lot of confidence. 60 cents to 80 cents. There you go. Looking at the Heart Collector backpack. So I was kind of disheartened with backpack skins as of this point. We have had so many. And at that specific point right there, when we're seeing a lot of prices starting to drop off after post-Christmas, so many backpacks were crashing real hard. So I was looking at it, I was making considerations. I didn't think the whole pink design was going to carry it enough. Ha ha, look at me, I'm running around with a pink backpack. Anyway, with the absurd amount of acceptances ever since that first became skinnable, I just didn't have that much faith. So I played it safe. I went with 70 cents to $1 for a $2 backpack. Cool. Then I looked at the lovely, Soulmate AK-47. $3. Just as we had the 4 Twitch drop AKs being given away for absolutely free, just as we literally had like some Lunar New Year AK-47s, just as we had the primitive Rust Door. Do you remember the Black Ops AK literally the week before? Yeah, that came out the week before that. $3 as well. Huh. So many AKs in such a short amount of time. So many AKs in 2025. It was like we had an AK every week almost. That right there, I didn't have a lot of faith in it. Yep, it only did about 13,000 subscribers. It wasn't retaining that $3 price. And just 2 weeks before this, as I said, there was the Kaleidoscope AK-47 for Lunar New Year Week 2. That was already down to $1. It was already down to $1. So with that being a sort of, holiday, not for us, but, people who like Lunar New Year. Anyway, that was going to go down to $1, wasn't it? It felt like an inevitability. So yeah, I went with 60 cents to 80 cents with the barter. Now with the fridge, I felt very confident with it. It did not sell that much. At that specific point right there, it had only done 10,500 subscribers. Looking at all the fridges in general, like the top sellers, there was only like a couple that did over 20,000 subscribers. That didn't even crack the top 5 overall sales for all the fridges. So, okay. It's a very colourful, very decorative, very cool looking, transparent design for a fridge. That actually looks like it's going to be appreciated, and with this expected update that potentially could come maybe in March or April, the cooking update, I was like, oh, things are actually kind of lining up quite nicely for this. There's a lot of hype for fridges. I actually think I might end up actually buying some of them. So when it came to doing the buy order, I went with $1.20 to $1.70 for a $2 fridge. So, yeah, we were going on strong. It really did look like things were going to work out quite nicely for that. So, all right, there's a lot of hype behind it. I felt justified to do the high buy orders. Was I going to buy some? Well, I'll talk about that in a bit, don't you worry. And then we had the Teddy Love wooden door. I didn't have any faith in wooden doors. No, like literally at that specific point, pretty much every single wooden door was below $1. That came out like within the past 3 years, other than the ones that are minute plated. So, okay, there you go. Now looking at the remaining skins that weren't abnormal, the Blaze Furnace, bright pink, pretty interesting, sold at $1.49. I thought, you know what, I think I'll do a buy order of 80 cents to $1.20. I think it looks pretty interesting. I think it looks pretty nice. All right, yeah, maybe it does work out quite nicely. But most furnaces, they had dropped off. All the ones that came out within like the past 2 or 3 years, unless they're part of like a very notable collection, they tend to go down pretty badly. So, okay, fair enough. Then we had the cap. So, no love cap. It's it was a very straightforward design. It just basically has like a very straightforward symbol going through a heart saying no love. But it was a white cap, and I thought, oh, maybe some people look at it as if it's white primitive camouflage. There's a bit of a joke, but by default, I was like, guys, I really don't expect another baseball cap skin to be accepted anytime soon. I think that's in a very good spot. Didn't sell too much, with that currently just about sitting there, just over 10,000 subscribers. I thought, you know what, maybe that actually could work out quite nicely. Don't expect huge gains, but expect nice gradual increasing in price. So with that, I went with 80 cents to 90 cents for a 99-cent skin. I think it would do all right. That was my thought process. Then I looked at the Lovesmith hoodie and pants, and much like how I've approached the Halloween skins and the Christmas skins, that being the clothing and armor skins, I went with 30 cents to 40 cents. I felt like at some point they're going to get real cheap, and I'll pick them up, and there might be a fairly decent chance that, well, next year for Valentines 2026, we might see a sequel. Will it be accepted? We've got to wait and see, don't we? That's the only point where I think there's a possibility of seeing that making a profit. So, yeah, play low ball and see what happens next. Right, well, there you go. That was the buy orders. Now, I will point out, I did buy a batch of the lovely balloon cart fridge, and I bought about 20 of the Blaze Furnace. So now let's hop over to here and talk about the outcomes. How did everything turn out? Let's talk about that furnace. Oh my, okay, so that went down to 80 cents. I actually thought that could work out quite nicely. A very nice, uniquely coloured interior, bright and notable, pretty nice to look at. Nope, 78 cents. Okay, well, that happened then. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I was wrong there. I will definitely stand up and say I was wrong. I was a little bit too optimistic. And yeah, 80 cents to $1.20? No. So yeah, I even bought some of them. That didn't work out very nicely, did it? Hopefully it might rebound and go up in price in the future. But we do kind of see quite a lot of furnaces, don't we? It's not like a rare sight to see. So, oh dear. I was wrong. I ended up buying quite a lot of barders as well. And I did remove my barders because I was getting a little bit too unsure. So, yeah, that dropped off pretty hard and it took me by surprise. So, yep, I was wrong there. Well, what about the rug? Well, the rug isn't doing too bad. Rug sold fairly reasonably with just over 16,000 subscribers, but as of now, on the Steam market, barders are still holding up very nicely, and yes, it did rise up. These new barders appeared somewhat recently, and the listings, well, honestly, if that sells there, that $2.30 listing there, it's back up into the positive. This has actually worked out very nicely. So let's just quickly look at sales history, and as you can see, this has been pretty stable for a fairly decent amount of time. Yes, indeed. It has not really gone down in price after what? Just the end of February. So, yeah, it's doing good. No complaints. It's basically retained its value ever since it came out. And, well, now we're steering towards the summertime. Could it potentially go up even higher? We shall see. But just remember this. It's spelt incorrectly. Facepunch could randomly turn around and say, you know what, we're going to fix that. If they change it to Rose Petals Rug, the barders will wipe. It will be treated as a brand new entity. You're going to have to redo your barders. So keep an eye out for something like that potentially in the future. We'll find out what happens, won't we? But if you do notice it's changed, quickly go check the barders. Quickly go see if your barders are still there and you might need to redo them. Chances are you might be the first person. So just saying. Cool. So yeah, that has actually worked out quite nicely. People do appreciate it. How high could it potentially go in the future? Keep an eye on it. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. I don't know. I can't foresee that far in the future, I think. Right, anyway. So, what about the grenade? Ooh, well, it dropped off. But it didn't go down all the way, horribly down. It's basically just about staying above $1. But the expectation of, well, I expected to drop off like below. I think we could just turn it into metal if things get real bad. Well, that didn't happen. But still a bit off. So, this Valentine's batch, I haven't been doing very well, have I? No. But yeah, it still seems to get at least some, interest. But I'm not sure how long this is going to hold up for. I definitely didn't suggest like barders of over $1, but someone clearly seems to care. All right, you can keep buying them if you want. But yeah, that just went down, went up a little bit, down again, stagnated. And it might go gradually up in price again. But I'll ask you, do you even care? Do you even care to skin your grenades? I don't think people do. But hey, maybe this is going to work out nicely. No. So yeah, I feel like I'm wrong on 3 of these now. What about the backpack? You're wrong on that as well, Hedge. So yes, that's actually done work. It's actually worked out quite nicely. As you can see, it's only got 27 listings on the Steam market. It's sales listings. I mean, it's all thin. It's 1111252 11111. Like, 10 sales, it's comfortably close to about $3. And it could potentially go up even higher very easily because, well, look at it, there's nothing there. Well, there you go, Heart Collector. It did dip below its Rustore price a fair bit, but it's only down by like 10%. That's it. 10 cents. Oh, okay, back up to its Rustore price now. Okay. So, as you can see with the barders, they're only currently going up to about $1.30. With what we suggested, we only suggested going up to about $1. So we said 70 cents to $1. I'm wrong. I am wrong. Look, it went down a price, stops around $1.50. And since then, well, it doesn't look like it's going to be going any lower. So that actually has worked out very nicely for itself. I was wrong here. Oh, Hedge. Well, hey, what about the AK-47? Ha ha ha. So, yeah, that did end up going below $1. The 60 cent to 80 cent barter was correct. It's unfortunate because it was actually a pretty cool looking design, but once you realise how people behave with AK-47s, looking at them as potential investments, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, it's unfortunate with what happened there, but with what we see, it's not like it's never happened before. Yeah, so will that ever recover? Well, there's not that many listed on the Steam market, but the sheer lack of interest clearly shows, so I don't know. And there's plenty of other AKs to look at. And that's the issue of AK-47s as potential investments. So let's now talk about this fridge. So we, of course, did have the cooking update come out. It was kind of a surprise that it came out for March. I was expecting around April. Anyway, all the fridges, they were really hyped up. And, well, prices were going up. But once this update came out, they kind of peaked up a little bit more. And recently, they've all started to slowly go down. Seems the hype has kind of faded, but the prices are still retaining quite nicely. So all these fridges reached a brand new all-time high price, but with the update now actually out, things have cooled down. But how's everything going to turn out once we reach the summertime? Could it still potentially improve? We shall see. And, just like 2 weeks later, we saw another fridge being accepted. So, okay, fair enough. This is currently the cheapest fridge we have in the game, and it's $2.30. That ain't too bad. So just to remind all of you, it's a very nice, colourful, bright, transparent crater design. It glows in the dark ever so nicely, and I can't help but assume over the course of the summer and in the future, people are going to appreciate it and people are going to like it. So, all right, cool. With what happened here, it's only slightly in the positive, but it did work out becoming a positive skin. And like I said, I bought a batch of those. I don't think I'll be selling them now. I want to wait and see how things turn out around the summertime. Yes, it's a Valentine's theme skin, but I think people won't really care that much. I think it'll still be okay. Hopefully it pushes up to $3 or $4, and I'll make a decision then. And then we have the No Love cap. Remember when I said, we don't see that many cap skins even being produced. We don't see that many cap skins being accepted. I doubt it's going to go down in price dramatically, and I don't expect a new skin appearing anytime soon. So what happened? Well, literally the very next week, we had the Monarch set appear. And I completely forgot about that. I thought that was a boonie hat. Nope, it was a cap skin. That came with a jacket. You had a very cool crown and cape combination, and it looked cool, and people bought a lot of it. People appreciated that. Unfortunately, that's already gone down in price. But this here, it's only gone down slightly. So the bar had a suggestion of, what was it? 80 cents to 90 cents. Yeah, no, that's okay. Looking at it right now, there's about 10 there, there's a 19 there. But are we actually going to see another cap skin anytime soon? Still standing with the point of, I don't expect so. Now, just to clarify, with the crown cap, that was actually submitted before this one. All right? So, but yeah, I was wrong. In terms of the barter, I was okay, but with the suggestion of, we're not going to see another cap skin anytime soon. Well, it was already there, and it got accepted, so good job, Hedge. Then we have the wooden door. Yeah, this went below $1. Yeah, it was inevitable. So, yeah, unfortunately, they don't get enough love, they don't get enough usage, and the prices just go... So, it's unfortunate, but that's just people's behaviour, and you've got to be prepared for it. And then with the clothing, it's gone down in price. What were you expecting? Yeah, we're not going to see anything happen until at least next year. We'll see if we do see a continuation. But, Love Struck wasn't exactly super in demand until we saw continuations. And that was that's the only Valentine's themed skins that we've actually seen getting continuations. And it worked out very nicely for itself in the end. But funnily enough, we did not see a Love Struck skin being accepted in this Valentine's Rush store. Oh, surely it'll be next week, right? So, overall, I think I was mostly wrong. I approached this incorrectly. Either I played it too safe or I didn't engage enough, I guess. That worked out nicely. That's worked out nicely. That has worked out nicely. That did not work out nicely. No. So, I think I got it wrong. You can laugh at me, point your fingers at me, and shame me. But feel free to comment below. Did you actually buy any of these skins? Did you pick up anything with a buy order? And now let's talk about next week. Just get a nice little insight. So, the second week of Valentine's, right? No. There were so many Valentine skins submitted, and we didn't get 2 weeks. All right, fair enough. It's not like Valentine's is like a big, huge holiday, but damn, there was 220 Valentine skins submitted, and there was a lot of very cool designs. And just to see only this, let me point this out. 220 skins, and I think about 100 of them were door skins. One wooden door got accepted. Cool. Oh dear. Yeah, it's rough being a skin creator. So, anyway, let's properly look at this Rush door. So, as I've already pointed out, the Monarch skins were accepted. So, we're still seeing medieval themes being accepted. Interesting. Oh, collection continuation. Hoodie and pants continuation. The final core piece of the Ultramarine collection. So that's pretty cool. That's very nice. That actually worked out very good to a point, in terms of what was accepted. But in terms of, has it actually done a good job in terms of retaining its value? Well, that's another thing. Now, just to quickly hop over to here and point something out. With the recent player counts, they've been holding up pretty well. I haven't seen like a dramatic drop in player count. I mean, if you click from here to here now, Fair enough, but that still took 2 months. Compared to like the previous year, there's a huge difference. Oh, there's about 30,000. Anyway, with the very high player counts we've seen recently, I've actually put out a video recently talking about how it looks like we're not even going to see an Easter dip. It looks like skins have already reached their low points around February already. So, with what we see here, might actually be their low points as of now. So if you actually missed out on some of the skins, well, you've got your time right here in front of you. And they don't have that many listings, do they? So if you think, actually, hang on a minute, people actually might appreciate this over the course of the summer, and need I remind you, we're expecting some potentially very nice updates in the summer, a notable jungle update. I think a lot of people will be playing, and I think a lot of people will be, absolutely adoring Rust, and they might see these skins for the first time, and maybe they do work out quite nicely. So I'm just saying, we'll see how it goes. But if you look at this and think, I think I could have made, if only I had made an investment, you can now. All right, it's up to you. So it is what it is. And with that, thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck with you and your investments. And surely Hedge's assumptions with the predictions will be a lot better next week, right?